once a geek, always a fam. As we jump in, Kyrie on the Cho jungle.
Wow, jungle Cho right here. Healthy, clear, a lot of gank potential. How successful will Kyrie be here? Because it all depends on what kind of build he wants to go for as well. Because for more damage, he can go for a one-shot, but he also has that Demon Slayer emblem. So I think it will be a bit more of a utility pick from the side of Onic Esports.
Yeah, honestly, right now, with defense composition, do they have more control when it comes to the early neutral objectives? I think they might actually... It's a 50-50. Honestly, I think that even in early game, neutral objective-wise, it's 50-50.
I agree with you because Voloisky is going to be reliant on that level 4, but so is Samo. And in terms of that wave clear, it's going to be quite equal as Kadera gets chunked really low by CW despite being the winning lane.
I think I was trying to bait something out from CW, but whoa, Elzura equalizing that damage dealt. CW and Kadera both very low right now, and both without their battle spells. So I think wave clear-wise, Geek has an advantage. Lilia is just so strong in the early game, and Grian here almost gets jumped on, very smartly backs away.
And honestly, right, just now, this is why the Atlas pick, I think this is why Onic actually went for the Atlas pick. They want to force the Erythna on a Purify, and that's exactly what you saw just now. Samo jumped in with the perfect match, baiting that Purify out, and without that maneuverability, oh, what the heck?
Whoa, what?
All right.
Okay.
Thank you, Town Prediction by Axe, for cutting me off. I didn't expect this.
Full Geek Fam favorites here for the talent prediction by Axe, and we're going to see if the draft, they can actually implement it to the way that we see the potential in, but here we go.
Let's see, Samo already going to get caught by the Ammo Bandit. It's still going to be the Retribution coming in, but look at the team fight here, all messy. Kyrie with Way the Dragon, Luke picking up first blood though. It's a 1-for-1, Beloy caught in the midst of it all, going to be taken down. Kyrie picks up a double, it's a 2-for-1. Luke though, looking for one more, doesn't have the flicker to finish him off.
Ooh.
Luke getting out just barely. Onic definitely with a better value in that trade.
They get more members and they get the turtle as well. So Onic Esports with a bit of advantage here. Kyrie does have the Demon Slayer. So it does seem like Jana wants to play more aggressively, but he will require some items before he can be an actual threat for Cho in the early game.
1,000 goldie at the moment for the side of Onic Esports as we're seeing quite a similar story here. I guess it depends, right? If Onic Esports can get a huge moment with the Atlas, it's going to be very difficult for Geek Fam because the follow-up potential from Onic is definitely there, especially with Drian in that mid lane.
But again, they're staying true with their identity, right? Geek Fam. In game 1, how did they win? Sure, in the early game, they lost actually to Onic Esports, neutral objective takes, but they let Chidera and Elzura scale, buying time for them, giving the space over to them to farm.
Exactly. Distance management is the name of the game here. Kadera with the Purify, Elzura with the Sprint as well. They will be able to actually avoid a lot of the engage potential, the pick-off attempts coming in from Onic Esports. But of course, unlike usual teams, they do have a lot of options on how they want to try and attempt that. Falling Star Moon, Fatal Links, and as well as the Way of the Dragon. Geek Fam will have to be able to perfectly maneuver around every single one of those skills in order to get success in the late game.
And because of that, you can even see that Chidera has opted with the Purify spell. So really respecting the CC potential coming in from Onic Esports, but that's going to limit her capacity for that mobility just a little bit because she couldn't pick up that sprint. So now 5 seconds on the clock for the next turtle to spawn. And this might be just what Onic Esports needs, right? Because of the wombo combo capacity that they have, so much flex, so much ability to utilize. Geek Fam, they need to be very careful.
Luke already aggressively just zoning away on Esports, but we haven't seen Luke completely pop off, do crazy plays just yet, so he has a lot to prove right here, especially in a match with such high stakes. And Geek Fam with the control, they have the option to just back away, but Kyrie goes for that steal.
Perfect match for Samo. Beloy comes in. I'm offended. Also, Kyrie able to secure the turtle as that is a massive engage with the Fatal Links. 2 kills again over to Onic Esports with the turtle to Kyrie. Not looking good at all for Geek Fam. But just as I say that, it's looking good in the gold lane with Chidera winning in that lane.
Now this was similar to game number 1, right? When Geek Fam won. It did seem like Onic Esports were able to get the favorable trades on the board, but because they let Kadira just scale into that late game, and Geek Fam were able to stave it off, Geek Fam actually had a chance to win it back against Onic Esports. But for the moment, 2,500 gold lead Arashi.
Right, you gotta be a bit concerned about the how the one-dimensional Onic Esports damages. If they are able, Deacon can just zone away. Oh, as I say that though, I'm a fan of being UCW. Gets jumped on.
1 HP there, but look at the Fatal Links. Oh my god, comboed perfectly coming in. And look at Drian, he's coming in as well. This is not good for Chadera and Beloy. Chadera caught in the midst of it all, gonna be stunned up there, knocked up. He's still able to kite away for a bit with the Purify, but in the end, it is gonna be Onic Esports getting another 2-for-0 trade. Geek Fam, this is starting to look grim.
Wow, they just weren't ready for that. They tried to go for that play, but unfortunately, the collapse from Onic Esports comes in a bit too early. And I was saying earlier, if they can just isolate CW, zone him away, the only real threats coming into them is just gonna be magical from Drian, from Boots. So, itemization-wise, they can try and get an advantage there, but if Onic Esports is able to leverage their lead, their crowd control, and get ahead really far in the early game, Geek Fam will struggle, man.
So what do they do, right? Because if they go for 5v5, it's a little bit more difficult because of how much CC Onic Esports has at their disposal. But if they want to go for pickoffs, how do they accomplish that as well? Who in particular do they target, realizing that CW is never alone in that lane?
That's just what happened. But if they want to burst down Samo HT on the Atlas, he's way too tanky. So Fatal Links be used again right there, and Baloyski will be the target.
All the weakness points popped in, and that's a crossbow tank to isolate Baloyski, and that's the third turtle going over to the hands of Onic Esports, presented by Samsung Galaxy A Series. Onic Esports, again, just using this gold lead so well, even going into the enemy jungle, stealing the orange buff away from Janna. Deja vu to game number 1, but it's even more dominant here for Onic in that early stage. 4,000 gold lead. Kyrie, again, he stole the little creep there as Janna is just telling him to chill out. Chidera, meanwhile, got chunked low, and Onic are doing whatever they want in this game. Already towards Geek Fam.
5,000 gold lead, and Geek Fam, until this moment, they haven't had a particular moment. They haven't been able to make any decisions on the board because they're playing into Onic Esports tempo. Every time Onic Esports go for a pickoff, go for an engage, they instantly are able to convert it onto an objective. The tower in the mid side, the tower in the bottom side, and so far, Geek Fam has only been able to get one tower here in the 8th minute.
Honestly, I think the window is kind of closed for Geek Fam. The way they could have, approached that early game was if they just traded the neutral objectives for the bottom side constantly, right? Go for trades. But the thing is, they kept on playing with their weak side. Esme, Paquito lane. Definitely Esme, who has a little bit more of an edge there. So, again, Geek Fam, I think, chose the wrong lane to play with. They had the winning lane bottom side, but they didn't utilize it up until the third turtle. And at that point, I think it's a bit too late to go for that snowball onto Dara. And now they have 3 losing lanes.
Well, Geek Fam, we have seen them face this kind of adversity before, being able to just survive amidst the pressure that Onic Esports is exerting on them. Now with 5k gold difference though, Onic Esports, they're just biding their time here. If they have a chance of just going for dives and whatnot with the tanky members they have on their team, we'll just have to see if Geek can try and outmaneuver around that, as Beloy and Kadira, they're in a very scary spot here, no turret.
Yeah, this might be scary. Oh, no!
Oh my god, CW is gonna get taken down. Chidera still able to survive for now. He's kiting away. My goodness gracious. Bidding out the black shoes. Bidding out Triana Flicker in, but the Fataling seals the deal in the end. It was almost an outplay, but now Kyrie jumps onto Janna. Enhanced chain knocking Samo up, but the perfect match will find him, stunning him up with the Jikundo comboed in. Kyrie is unstoppable. He's looking for Beloy. He's jumping in again. He's looking for another kill, but even in the mid lane, Luke cannot withstand Boots' pressure. He can't even deal damage to him. Onic Esports get another good trade. They combo, they convert it onto the Lord.
Uncontested, mind you, as well. So 5,000 gold lead to their name. And this is difficult. Geek Fam, they need to be able to look for compensation on the board, right? Because if they leave it like this for too long, Onic Esports are just going to snowball to the point where Geek Fam won't be able to utilize their moment. And as you can see here, Kyrie once again taking away the buff from Janna Cutie.
It's crazy, man. Onic is not letting Geek Fam get any beneficial trades at all. And now they're extending their control to the turret game as well. 7k gold difference and all the damage in the world. Geek Fam just had to survive and try and attempt to scale, but they seem to be intent on making those aggressive plays happen. They are able to just get pickoffs, but at what cost? They keep losing 2 or 3 members every time they get a single pickoff, and I don't think that can be worth it in any way.
We don't have the El Momento hero here. No Atlas, no Kufra, no one who can actually just change the game with one team fight. It's looking very, very bad for Geek Fam right now. Comeback potential, sure, there is that hope left, but look at Chidera, he's 3 levels below CW. Elzura as well, 3 levels below Dreon. It's not looking, it doesn't feel like the comeback can happen.
It's very difficult because Geek Fam, they don't have a lot of ways to just engage a fight. Maybe when I'm offended, but even then, it's really not as easy or as simple as any other hero. So they are stuck maybe trying to counter-engage using the Ruby, using the enhanced chain from Janna QT as well. There is potential there. But Onic Esports, they are very comfortable in that situation. They can play that objective game and just try and end the game without even going for that big fight. So it's on Geek Fam to try and find the right time, right? When Onic Esports maybe are tunneling on ending the game for them to actually get an advantage in a team fight instead.
But even if that happens, right? Like, even if Geek Fam get a really good engage with I'm Offended, the counterplay can be there, but CW gets caught.
Oh my god, he is the top global for a reason! He's able to take Luke down, outplaying that situation, baiting out so many abilities. CW, he gets the kill too. It's a 1 for 2 for Onic Esports. A valiant effort for Geek Fam there to look for a trade. In the end, it wasn't even a shutdown.
Exactly. CW has been the one that's been targeted, but he is not the one in possession of the kills, of the kill streaks. Kyrie and Dreon are the ones doing a lot of damage, even though you wouldn't really expect it coming in from the Valentina. Very, very low-key damage output, but with the Holy Crystal completed, this man needs to be focused down. And with the Black Shoes, though, that won't be an easy task.
But that's the thing that I just mentioned, right? Like, right as I was saying it, even if Geek Fam get a really good play with the I'm Offended, if the Atlas is still around and available with the Fatal Links, the counter engage is going to be hitting a little too hard. That can also be comboed in with Kyrie as well as Boots. So very difficult. I think the only thing that they can go for is look for some split pushes on the board, utilize the mobility that they have. It's not going to be easy, way easier said than done. And the other thing that they can do is look for pickoffs. But with the way that Onic Esports is grouping up, once again, still very, very difficult for Geek Fam.
Ooh, they're setting up a trap here for Boots, though. It might work out.
Let's see. Nope, they're not going to be able to burst him down. He's way too tanky on the sprint as well. It's a desperate play from Geek Fam, looking for the play once again. But Beloy, every single weakness point popped in. CW with the crossbow attack with the Inspire as well. And Samo with the Fatal Links. The longer the game goes, the harder it is for Geek Fam. Janna caught. It's going to be everyone falling here. There, all the bodies hit the floor. Elzura falls as well. Geek Fam's playoff run, the miracle run we all expected to come true. It's looking very, very gone here.
Beautiful, beautiful setup from Samo. You could see even before they all started grouping around, he was already waiting for the flanks, and Kadera is gonna go down, Mirko.
Wipe out by Onic Esports up against Geek Fam. They shut the dream down. They take Geek Fam out of playoff contention. Nice try, Geek Fam. What a comeback story.